can vividly remember the day that I became a mom and I held Archer in my arms. I just knew that from that day on, my life would never be the same, that I would be completely different. And I didn't know how or what my life would look like with this little baby, but I just knew that it's inevitable. Like once you have this child, your life will never be the same. And so for many that don't know, Archer was what they call rainbow baby. He was born after I had a miscarriage a year prior to having him. And I just remember wanting so much to just have a baby, to be pregnant. And then finally, when that moment came that I delivered him, I was just elated. I just didn't even know what was going to happen, but I just knew that I was going to love this baby with all of my heart, with everything that I had. But quickly after the first couple of months, went by, where I kind of sort of figured out all about the feeding and the sleep routines and all that stuff that like really freak out first time moms. I just found myself questioning my very existence, and I was just experiencing what I would describe an identity crisis almost. I was like, I know I'm a mom, but is this all that I'm doing? Is diaper changing and feeding and just being completely inundated with all of these routines and what can the baby eat is just so much. And I knew that I had more to offer. It wasn't just motherhood, period, and that's all that I was. And so in this book, Devin really describes our roles as moms, and not seeing the role as a mom of just being this is all that you are, but it being an enhancement to what you were created to be. And it's an enhancement to all of your passions and all of the callings in your life. And so Devin talks about in her first chapter, she just comes to grips with the reality of motherhood, right? She comes to grips to knowing that her life as a mom is not going to be the same as her life prior to having kids. And she knew that she needed to find the joy and excitement of her new normal instead of grieving over what she had before kids. She says that she realized that God was not just calling her to be a wife or just a mother, that she had a role and a calling and an identity before she became a mom and a wife. And the blessing of children were purposed to be enhancements and never to cause conflict. And so when I read this, for me, it kind of was an aha moment for me, because I was like, that's it. Like, I am not just a mom, even though being a mom is a huge calling on my life, especially now in this season. I feel like once you're a mom, you'll never not be a mom, right? And so I needed to figure out how this role played into my life, and how this passion that I have now for my kids, how I could use my giftings and my callings to just make it a more holistic approach to how I approach life, versus me just compartmentalizing, okay, you're a mom, and then you're a teacher here, and then you're a wife here. It's so much more than that, right? And so the book is mainly talking about awakening moms to be conscious and purposeful when raising their kids, to add eternal value. And so what does that mean? Well, for me, it means when you are talking to your kids, when you are doing the mundane day-to-day things with your kids, that there's purpose and intentionality behind what you're doing, right? It's so easy to just go through the day and not have any focus, and just doing what you kind of just go on autopilot mode, and you're like, okay, breakfast at 8, and then we need to get the kids ordered for school, and then you just go throughout the day, and it's as if we have these routines set out. But within those every day-to-day routines, we need to find those teaching moments, those intentionality points where we could be like, this is where I could sow a seed and teach my kid this. Because she goes into the chapter saying that one child with purpose and destiny can change the future of the entire nation. And when I read this, I was like, wow, God, you've really given me these kids that are world changers. They're not going to be complacent to what society says they have to be, and I want them to be critical thinkers, but I also want them to know that you have a plan and a purpose purpose for them. Just like you have a plan and a purpose for my life, I want to be speaking identity, and I want to be speaking purpose into their lives. And so in the day-to-day, guys, when you're changing those diapers and folding laundry and going to work and then coming back home and making dinner, just know that you are impacting the next generation. You're speaking destiny. You're shaping these special and unique babies that God has given us, and each one is different. And I mean, as we go on through these chapters, you'll hear me talk about how, you know, Bennett's my introvert and Archer's this like type A firstborn textbook kid, you know. But I'm gonna go into like what strategies I've used and implemented with my kids, because I really do believe that being a kingdom-minded mom, as Devin says in this first chapter, it's not about placing your value on things that have no eternal value. So putting the pressures that we do put on ourselves as moms to have the kids be this and that, and have your house look this way or that way, or have that Pinterest perfect, you know, I don't know, serving platter or whatever the case may be. Like, that's not what being a mom is. Being a mom is speaking and shaping these little kids and speaking destiny and purpose into their lives. And so I'm going to leave you with this last verse, Isaiah 61. Arise and shine, for your light has come and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. Moms, as you go out through this week, just know that you're going to have your downs. I'm 4 hours into the day, and I've already lost it with my kids this morning. But guess what? That doesn't disqualify you. You could get back up and not let the anxiety and not let the condemnation get down on you, and just be like, okay, we have the rest of the day to go and we're going to do it again tomorrow. And so making those conscious and purposeful efforts to speaking identity and purpose and teaching our kids to know that they have a mission and a destiny in this world, and it's for eternal value, not for, you know, things that will fade. And so don't let that stay dormant within you guys, and just know that these little babies are looking up to us and they're wanting that encouragement from us as well. So guys, go through this week and know that we are doing a really, really big job, and it is so worth it.